What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerdvengers Tower, and we've got some juicy Star Wars updates all about the coming Andor show. I'm going to break down all the latest reports and give you my take on what it means, but I also want to explain how I think all of this could tie together with a new Jedi Order that will be said in a lot of new Star Wars material between the Kenobi show and The Force Awakens. But first up, let's talk about a report from Making Star Wars indicating that Andor Season 2 will begin filming in November of this year. Strangely, they are also reporting that the show will film for 18 straight months. Second season filming in November of this year. Pretty crazy stuff, and the speculation's pretty wild on this. Now, we had heard that Andor was going to be a massive show for Star Wars, and it was going to have several seasons, but for them to just go right into filming season 2 and maybe even filming season 3 back to season 2 shows a lot of confidence in that show. And as I've been saying for some time, as Star Wars Mag has been teasing for some time, and almost any insider that knows anything about Andor, Andor is going to be a big deal for Star Wars. And so now let's shift into the different reports of crazy characters that are said to be showing up in Andor Season 1, and we can imagine showing up in Season 2 and 3 as well. First up, let's talk about a report from Star Wars Mag. She dropped this earlier on in the week that Mas Amedda, the blue-skinned, tentacle-wearing, horned-looking crazy dude, the guy that's like the right hand to Palpatine, you know the guy. Apparently he's going to be making an appearance in the Andor show, which I think is pretty crazy. But there was another report later in the week by Bespin Bulletin that the Imperial Royal Guard are also said to make an appearance in the Andor show. And this makes sense. It's sort of par for the course for this time period in Star Wars. Andor is going to take place in a time period where the Empire is in full form and there's just the beginning of the rebellion. And so having a character like Mas Amedda be around and seen, perhaps in different dialogue sequences explaining the political landscape of the galaxy, makes perfect sense. The Imperial Royal Guard could also be there just to protect him. But of course, we're all thinking will Emperor Palpatine be in this show? I would say yes. I'm not reporting that I've heard he's in the show, and none of the insiders are saying that that is a foregone conclusion, but I think it just makes sense. I think Ian McDiarmid would be down to return, and I think this would actually be a way more appropriate place to use Palpatine as a character, other than The Rise of Skywalker. And I personally think the show could benefit heavily from having Palpatine be involved, showing the difference between what he did from a political perspective of consolidating power for the Empire and also what he was working on as a Sith Lord. He's trying to get into the Temple of Mortis. He's trying to get into the world between worlds. He wants to elevate his power, totally have control over the Force, and reshape the galaxy in his image. And a lot of that stuff, which is in, bits of the Tarkin novel, the Catalyst novel, and a lot of different things in the Chuck Wendig trilogy of books that talk about the contingency. All of that stuff is pretty unexplored in live action, and I would absolutely love to see some of that play out on the screen. I also think it would be really cool if we got Grand Admiral Thrawn involved in this show as well, with Lars Mikkelsen very much heavily rumored to be announced to be playing that role in the Ahsoka show in friggin' Star Wars Celebration. I just think it would be absolutely incredible to have that character also interacting with Palpatine and all of these different characters for the time that Andor is set in. I mean, it's sort of a perfect show to be treated as a hub show, to have all of these different things connected to it. And this brings me to my final thought on this, which is all about this theory that I have that more Jedi or new Jedi orders are going to be sort of introduced in Kenobi and via the Fallen Order games. And I think that you might even see them take place here in the Andor show. And the connection here would be through Saw Gerrera, who is rumored to be working to help Force users have some kind of a colony of refuge on Jabeam, and that plot point is supposed to be explored during the Kenobi show. And I think one of the main reasons that I'm so keen on this happening is because it would create a whole era of Star Wars to enjoy fun connective tissue. If the Fallen Order series of games is going to follow Cal Kestis and how he ends up getting involved with a new Jedi Order, perhaps the one that is on Jabeam, involved with Saw Gerrera, who was obviously in the Fallen Order game and knows who Cal is. Well, it would be great to explore that concept in those characters in the different games, along with different seasons of Andor, which would be taking place over the next couple of years. That's a really sort of beautiful experience for consumers. It's really what I think we were sort of promised when Disney took over Star Wars. That was their overall vision for it, having everything tie together, feed into each other, and ultimately reward you, the consumer, for having all of this different stuff and experiencing it, to have it maybe enrich your experience when you play another game or watch another show. That's kind of where the juice is at, and I hope it's something that they are doing with Andor. And the fact that this thing is being greenlit for multiple seasons already kind of leads me to believe that yes, this is a big part of the plan. It's a massive show for Star Wars, and if they do want to add in this new Jedi Order thing that'll tie into the Fallen Order games, I think it's a perfect thing to have as an element within the many seasons of Andor. But those are the reports, the rumors, and my speculation on what it all means. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And of course, Star Wars Celebration right around the corner. Hopefully we'll get many answers as to what all of this means and how it's going to play out at that convention. And we'll be covering all of that in videos over here. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you don't miss anything. And if you had a question about any of this stuff or you just want to ask me about something, come on by our live streaming channel. You can ask me in the moment, and I'm usually able to get back to people right then and there. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.